Hey guys, this video is going to be an instructional video on how to ride a motorcycle. This is a manual transmission, which is the vast majority of motorcycles out there. There are automatic and electric bikes, but those operate similar to mopeds or scooters, so those are fairly straightforward. First thing we want to do is look at the handlebars of a motorcycle, and you'll notice on either side of the handlebars are these levers. This one right here is to apply brake to the front tire. You pull it towards you. This is your gas or your throttle. You pull it towards you to give it more gas. On the left side, this lever is your clutch. For those of you familiar with driving a manual transmission car, that should be very easy for you to pick up. And then here on the foot, you're going to be able to control the rear brake by depressing this down with your right foot. This is just a peg to rest your foot on. And then on the other side, very similar layout. This is another peg for your left foot. This is your gear change. So depending on your motorcycle, you're going to have anywhere from 4 to 6 gears. All the way down will be first gear. Slightly up from that will be neutral, and then second, third, fourth, so on and so forth. You always want to keep it all the way down when you're parked, just like you would with a car where you would apply a parking brake. So those are what your extremities are going to be operating, your hands and your feet. And everything else on the instrument panel will vary from bike to bike, but those were the handlebars and the foot peg controls, and those are going to be fairly universal across motorcycles. All right guys, so the next thing we want to do is turn on the motorcycle. You'll notice here there is an ignition switch. Just like with the car, you're going to turn it to the on position and you'll see the instrument panel light up. Next thing you want to do is, this is a on-off button as well. You're going to push it down to the on position, and then you'll see down here is what we call a starter switch. As soon as you depress that, the engine's going to turn on. Now, the transmission is in neutral, so I don't have to depress the clutch when I'm pressing that starter button. So just make sure that's the case with your motorcycle as well. So let's go ahead and press this button and you'll hear the bike turn on. So let's go ahead and get the bike moving. Again, we want to depress the start button, hit the starter. And for this initial way of riding the bike for the very first time, we're going to keep our feet, towards the ground. We're not going to put them on the pegs. That way we can balance ourselves as we're learning how to move the bike using just the clutch. We're just going to slowly let go of the clutch like that. We're not even going to give it any gas. We're just going to let the bike move with the clutch only. So the more you let go, you'll see the bike start to move forward, and then at that point it's going to go about 5 miles an hour or so without you giving it any gas whatsoever. So that's how we're going to do it this first initial run, just to give you guys that confidence of being on these 2 wheels. You're going to keep your legs out for sure. So go ahead and turn on the motorcycle, and like I said, just let go of this clutch slowly but surely, and you're going to feel the motorcycle move forward. If you feel like it's going too fast, hold the clutch in and the bike's basically going to come to a stop, and you can even hit the brake, but you'll be able to stop it just with your feet. So practice doing that, letting go of this clutch, slow, and it moves. Let's try it. This time we're going to let it go all the way, and we're going to just start moving. All right. And then, once you're about 5 miles an hour, go ahead and, put your feet on the pegs. And like I said, I haven't touched the throttle, the gas at all. This is just basically in first gear, just like with a car. As soon as you put a car in drive, or as soon as you put a manual transmission car in first and let it go, it's going to do just what this bike is doing. It's just just going to move forward without you hitting the throttle at all. And then just slowly turn the handlebars as you come to a turn. For those of you guys who know how to ride a bicycle, you'll be turning your handlebars in a similar fashion. Once we get to a better speed, there's going to be a different mechanic in having the motorcycle turn. We'll get into that later on, but this is just the first initial step for you guys, and this is the best way to just get a little bit more confidence while you're on the bike. And I think on this second loop, I'm going to just give it just a little bit more gas, and we're going to move it up one gear. We're still in first, so we're going about 5 miles an hour. I gave it some gas there. About 10, 12, 13, and then I'm going to hold this clutch down, and then I'm going to raise my left foot up to go into second gear. You see that? I hit the clutch down, raise my foot. Now you'll see on the instrument panel it's in gear 2, so we're in second gear now. That means we can keep on going faster, and you'll basically be going at this gear until the bike starts making this sort of growl, and then you'll know that you'll have to upshift to the third gear. But right now we're in second. And also, if your bike starts slowing down, it's going to make a different sort of noise, and that'll alert you to downshift. So we're going to actually try that. So let go of the gas, let the bike decelerate a bit, and actually let's go ahead and make this turn real quick, because if we're going uphill, it'll be easier to hear the bike making that growl, or making like a sputtering noise. A sputtering noise will tell you that you need a downshift. Do you see that? It's shaking. Hold the clutch down and press down with your foot to go into first. And slowly let go of that clutch hand. Because if you let go of the clutch too fast, the bike will jerk a little. And if you're going just slow enough, and you let go of the clutch too fast, the bike will stall on you, which means it'll basically just turn off after a violent lurch forward. So you want to try to avoid that. So that was it, guys. That was the initial process that you're going to go through. And once you get this initial training out of the way, everything else is going to be pretty straightforward. And you know, in my opinion, you know, most people will get this, and it'll be second nature to most people within a week. And you know, that'd be like 100, 200 miles under your belt, you're going to be good. You know, regardless of what size bike you're going to be riding, you're going to be good, in my opinion.